What is up, guys? Welcome back. My last video was basically just me showing off one of my first VGC teams. It was just a normal team, nothing like super weird. Now I'm gonna do a whole 180 and show some of the weirdest strategies I have teams for. Some of these strategies I just sort of took inspiration from. I think maybe a couple of them were just on my own. I think most of them I just took inspiration from, but then chose which mons I wanted to use them with. Basically, I'm just going to be showing a couple of strategies using some replays I saved. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, I'm about to prove that you guys have been lied to. If only I could just get this off. Now, for those of you who know my channel well, you may remember that one time during Ace Week where I showed the second hat being put on a stuffed duck. Well, you've been lied to again. I have 3 of these hats. Now you may be wondering, 3 hats? There's no way he could have any more, right? Yeah, right, 3 is all I have. Okay guys, so the first strategy I have right here is weird. Now normally I don't like using legendary Pokemon because of how overpowered they are, but with this strategy I had to like nerf certain Pokemon so much that I decided to bring legendaries along. So like I really had to nerf Landorus T, I really had to nerf Arceus, and I really had to nerf Giratina. But you may be wondering, why the fuck would I do that? So I'll get to that in a sec. We all are aware of the terrestrialization thing where you could become a certain type that you've never been before. That got me wondering, what if you could learn a certain move that you couldn't learn before? There is kind of a way to do that with assist. Now you guys probably be like, yeah, assist, we know about assist. Well, what I did here was I made sure to control exactly what move I could get with assist. So I have Smeargle over here, he has Belly Drum, and that's the only copyable move that any of my Pokemon have. So if we just hop into the battle. Okay, so first off, yeah, I Terra Poisoned because I was worried that I would get hit by a Fairy type move, so that's what I did. But yeah, by using Assist, the only copyable move from Assist is Smeargle's Belly Drum. So that's basically how I was able to control what move I could use. So basically, Assist can basically just have a Weavile using Belly Drum, or say another Pokemon with Assist is like Infernape. I could have an Infernape use Surf or something, which is honestly kind of busted. So I'm going to talk while I have this playing out. So basically Weavile's at maximum attack, and it's just basically going to sweep everything now. So basically you may be wondering, what moves do the other Pokemon have that they can't be copied? Well, most of the moves that I have on him are like 2-turn moves. Landorus T has both Dig and Fly. Arceus is Arceus Water, and it has Dive, as well as the Water Z move. Giratina has Shadow Force, and it also has Destiny Bond. I don't know why Destiny Bond can't be copied, but it can't. And Sableye has Metronome, and all of these Pokemon have Protect as well. So now they just forfeited because they gave up. There's one other strategy I have in this. Smeargle also has the moves Spiky Shield, Counter, and Mirror Coat. So what I did was I made sure to always just Spiky Shield to see what attack the opponents used on me. And then I used the corresponding Counter or Mirror Coat to basically reflect the damage. Basically, I was able to somehow make all this work while giving Weavile such a broken move like Belly Drum. So what this strategy now is basically I'll send out 2 Pokemon such as, Rillaboom and Liepard. So Rillaboom is going to set up Grassy Terrain. Now, a lot just happened right there. Yeah, it's all grassy, which also activates Liepard's Grassy Seed, which not only raises Liepard's defense now, but also doubles its speed, because Liepard has an ability called Unburden, and what that does is, anytime the Pokemon uses an item, its speed doubles. So Liepard's speed is now doubled. Look what I do here. Fake Out Incineroar. Nasty Plot. So now Liepard is just going to become fast and strong. This same thing also works with Howlucha and Indeedee, except instead of Fake Out, Indeedee has Follow Me, which basically redirects all attacks so Howlucha can't be hit. Now the only reason I have Fake Out on Rillaboom as well is because there's certain moves that just can't be redirected, like Surf or Heat Wave, that I just wanted to make sure didn't hit Hawlucha, so I have a Rillaboom. I originally was going to put 2 Hawluchas, but you can't do that in doubles, so I used Liepard instead because it was another Pokemon that had Unburden and could become strong using Nasty Plot. And I basically just have Excadrill and Crobat. They're both just choiced, and they're basically there to just support the other guys. So basically Liepard's dead, so I'm just gonna send Crobat out. Yeah, just have Excadrill use Earthquake there. Ignore the random ass nicknames on my Pokemon. So there's Indeedee. Now what I want to do here is, switch into Hawlucha to activate the seed, so follow me. But then, yeah, like I said before, that's the reason I have Rillaboom and Liepard as well, in case I'm up against this situation where a Pokemon uses a move like Heat Wave, which can't be redirected. But luckily it didn't do too much damage, so I'm able to actually take another one. But just in case, I follow me anyway. And now Hawlucha is ready to just attack. So Drain Punch comes out, Bro is dead, and he used Tickle, which drops my attack. And now he's dead as well, so now it's just these two. One thing to note about Acrobatics is that Acrobatics doubles in power if you lose your item. Hawlucha doesn't have an item because he used up his Psychic Seed, which raised the special defense and doubled the speed. Now at least Indeedee could take care of everything here, and so can Hawlucha. Now Hawlucha doesn't have the speed boost and the special defense boost, but it doesn't really matter at this point. So if you're going to make a strategy like this, just make sure you have a Pokemon that has Unburden and also has a setup move such as Nasty Plot or Swords Dance. So this strategy looks weird at first, and it kind of is, but it's also kind of busted. So I'm just going to show you guys what I'm doing as I go along. Now Swoobat uses Simple Beam on it. I want my opponent to have the ability Simple. I just want this guy to kill Swoobat first. The Defog is also good because there's a move that isn't 100% accurate that's involved in this. So using Defog is kind of important because it's going to lower the opponent's evasiveness. Porygon 2 is going to Trace Simple, and it's going to use moves like Charge Beam and Agility, which basically are just going to raise its stats a lot, and Simple basically doubles the boosts. So now Charge Beam raised my special attack by 2 stages, but Simple doubles the amount that my stats change, and then I have a move like Agility, and I also have Recover to just make sure that I don't die. And also he has an Eviolite to boost his defense. Now I'm just stacking Charge Beams, and I go Terra Ghost because I'm worried he's gonna use like a fighting move on me, but he doesn't. He just detects, so that kind of scares me. So I feel like I just need to kill this thing straight away. So that's what I do. And each one of these Porygon 2 basically does the same thing. They all have Charge Beam, Recover, and Agility, but their 4th move is always different. Sadly, Porygon 2 doesn't learn Terra Blast. If it did, I would also be able to have types like Fire, Water, Fairy. It would be busted. So they all have an electric damaging move. One of them has a ghost move, being Shadow Ball. One of them has Ice Beam and is Ice. One of them has Signal Beam and is Bug. One of them has Psychic and is Psychic. And one of them just has Tri-Attack and is Terra Normal. So basically I'm just going to keep Charge Beaming, raising my special attack. It eventually gets to +4, and it's basically just... Porygon 2 is a beast. It has boosted defenses from the Eviolite, it has boosted attack from the Charge Beam, and it has boosted speed from Agility. All that just goes by faster with Simple. It's just... Now I'm literally one-shotting legendaries. It does take a bit of time to set it up, but once it gets set up, it's basically just broken. This strategy. Now this strategy, you basically notice that my team is the exact same. Well, this replay doesn't actually showcase my gimmick, it showcases my opponent's gimmick. Because I was so blown away by what the opponent's strategy was, and I was like, this is going to become big. So basically, Liepard learns the move Assist, which is the same move that my Weavile had, and I knew that Palma was one of 2 Pokemon to learn the move Revival Blessing. Liepard was going to use Assist and copy Revival Blessing. It's fucking broken because Revival Blessing only has 1 PP, but if you assist it, it has the same amount of PP Assist does, and Liepard can have the ability Prankster, which makes status moves go first. Even if you have normally more speed than Liepard, Liepard is still just gonna go first, and heal the Pokemon before it dies. So basically there's nothing you could really do to stop it. See, I already knew what the strat was. I'm just waiting for this guy to try and kill me. There we go. So then I bring in the bug type one because they have a lot of dark types. Now it tricks a sticky barb onto me as well to get some chip damage, which is not good. So like I'll still get damaged as they're reviving their Pokemon. One of them also had toxic, so I was also taking poison damage as well, which just made it really annoying, and it was just practically impossible to win against this, even though I somehow won against it actually. The amount of times I signal beamed and they didn't get confused, and then the one time they copycat it, I get confused. Yep, assist. Oh, but they got toxic instead, so they weren't so careful. Oh, that's what he meant by I didn't know toxic got affected. He didn't know that assist could copy toxic. Now he's gonna revival blessing as well. He's gonna use up his 1 PP. He also has metronome. Yeah, here comes the revival blessing again. They basically just keep using Revival Blessing so much, and it was just really getting on my nerves. Luckily, Tri-Attack is able to one-shot them at half HP. They got Toxic. So maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's how I won, because they ran out of Assist. Maybe the last one didn't have Assist on it. They kept getting Toxic, and I was able to just kill him. Yeah, so if you are going to do an assist strat, like I did with Weavile, just make sure you have a bunch of moves that can't get copied. So now this strategy, I think the one thing that stands out about this team is the level 1 Tarantula. I've used Tarantula more times than I've used Spidops. So basically, I'm going to show you guys what the strat does. Like the Porygon 2 strat, I want to give my opponent a certain ability. This time, I want to give them the ability Magic Bounce. I'm going to skill swap Magic Bounce. Now he's just using Leech Seed, so I did not think Mystical Fire would kill there. So now basically none of us have Magic Bounce, so what I need to do is I need to go switch Hatterene out, and then once I switch it back in, it'll get Magic Bounce back. I just send an Annihilate to sacrifice it, or just kill whatever I can with it. So now Hatterene's back in, and Hatterene can safely skill swap Magic Bounce onto Quaquaval. Anyway, Tarantula's here, and what Tarantula is now going to do is Sticky Web, which bounces back to our side of the field. You may be wondering, why the fuck would I do that? You'll see. So basically, I just let Tarantula die. He's done his thing. Now Palafin comes in, and Eject Button gets it straight out. There's a lot to take in from that. So Palafin is a Pokemon where it's basically its hero form gets activated when it switches out, and it switched out by getting its stats lowered by the Sticky Web, which triggered the Eject Pack to switch it out. And now Kingambit comes in, and Kingambit also greatly benefits from the Sticky Web being there because his attack just doubled. Kingambit has the ability Defiant. Anytime one of its stats get lowered, its attack doubles. So basically the Sticky Web lowered Kingambit's speed, which is one of its stats, which basically triggered Defiant to activate and double Kingambit's attack. Now, you might be wondering, Kingambit's fucking slow now. How is he going to be able to outspeed and kill a lot of these guys? Well, he has a way of doing that. Sucker Punch. A move that always goes first, but only works if the opponent is going to use a damaging move. It's kind of like a bit of a risk having Sucker Punch, but if I predict they're going to use a status move, then I can just forget about Sucker Punch and just use one of my other moves to kill it while they set up. And Kingambit's already such a high defensive Pokemon that even if I do a bad read, I can still take a hit. Ironhead just one-shots it. That's how powerful Kingambit is now. And we just win. Annihilate is on the team because it also has Defiant. Now you might be wondering, Palafin doesn't really benefit too much from a Sticky Web being there after it's already switched out, so what do? Scizor. Scizor usually runs stuff like Bullet Punch, but my Scizor is more defensive and it has moves like Defog, which removes the Sticky Web, Agility, which doubles its speed, and Baton Pass, which switches it out and gives all its stat boosts to the Pokemon that switches in. So I figured out a way for everything. Now, I only got 4 Pokemon on this team, and they got 6. So I Dynamax Passimian to make sure that I take the least amount of damage possible from what's about to happen. So I basically max Airstream. I want Passimian's speed to go up, so I do that. Misty Explosion. So it's basically a Fairy-type move that just hits everything, and then Meryl just dies. So a lot's about to happen right now. Passimian takes a hit, which activates its weakness policy. If a Pokemon gets hit by a super effective move, it can activate its weakness policy, which doubles its attack and special attack, which works because Misty Explosion is super effective on Passimian. Not only that, but Meryl dies. Receiver, Passimian's ability is Receiver. So what it does is, if its ally dies, Passimian basically just takes what its ally's ability was. And since Meryl dies from Misty Explosion, Passimian copies Meryl's ability. Meryl's ability is Huge Power, which basically just doubles its attack again. So Passimian has doubled its attack twice. Basically, yeah. Now, it is drowsy. At least we have Moltres now. Now, I also said that I don't like using legendaries, but Moltres isn't a restricted Pokemon, so I guess it's a bit different. So now Moltres is speeded up. It has Choice Specs and Fiery Wrath. Fiery Wrath just hits both the opponents and has a 20% chance for each of them to flinch, which is really good. So that combined with Choice Specs just does massive damage and a flinch chance. But now it's almost dead. But Berserker activates. If the Pokemon gets below half HP, it raises its special attack. Now Passimian's asleep, so I'm scared about that. And I don't know why they just brought in Shedinja. Shedinja's just gonna die. Now Passimian should wake up right now, right? Yep. And it uses Iron Head, killing Clefable. Yeah, so that strategy is pretty busted. And also, Oranguru is there. Like, if you watched my video on my regular Trick Room team, you know that I like to use Oranguru to just make strong Pokemon, use their strong moves again for even more big damage. But, I mean, Oranguru is mainly used for Trick Room, so what do I do about that? Well, I made sure to give it max speed investment and give it a Choice Scarf to just make sure it outspeeds a lot of Pokemon, and then instruct before it gets hit. Sadly, it can't do stuff like it did in the Trick Room team, like, say, Encore, but it's still, like, very good. Now, this strategy is very similar to the Passimian strategy, where this guy gets huge power from this guy, and also gets a weakness policy activated, but in a slightly different way. Now, Runerigus doesn't really have Receiver, but it has Wandering Spirit, which swaps its ability with whoever makes contact with it. So what I'm going to do is, I am going to make sure that the Azurill makes contact with me before anyone else does by using Aqua Jet. Aqua Jet always goes first. And it's super effective on Runerigus, which activates the weakness policy. And also, Runerigus' Wandering Spirit. Runerigus swapped abilities with its target. So Runerigus now has huge power. He basically just doubled his attack twice, just like Passimian. But what makes Runerigus better? Well, Runerigus doesn't need a max Dynamax and max speed to raise its speed. Runerigus is actually very slow. So what do I do about that? If you watched my last video, it should be pretty fucking obvious what I do. Trick Room. And now, there's another thing that Runerigus can do, which makes it even better than Passimian. Earthquake. Not only can it hit one Pokemon, it can hit everything around him for super big damage. Okay, so I was kind of wrong about something there. I kind of forgot that my Passimian actually has Earthquake, and that's one of the reasons why I chose Galarian Moltres to be beside it in battle. But Runerigus still does the Earthquake better than Passimian because Runerigus gets stabbed from Earthquake, making the Earthquake stronger. So what do I do about the ally? I think I've talked about before how Oranguru has telepathy. So basically, moves like Earthquake can't hurt Oranguru if it's Oranguru's ally that's using. So like if Oranguru was here right now and he used Earthquake, Oranguru would not get hurt by it. And Vikavolt has the ability to levitate, which makes it so ground moves can't hurt it. Earthquake won't hit Vikavolt either. So now it's just sweeping time. Rock Slide comes in, kills Abomasnow, and Vikavolt has Discharge, which doesn't hurt Runerigus, but hurts everyone else here. So basically everything just dies. This strategy is fucking busted. Alright, so this is the last strategy I'm going to be showcasing in this video. Those who play Pokemon, you know who this guy is. That's Mousehold. Mousehold is a Pokemon that can use a move that can hit literally 10 times in one turn, but each time has a 10% chance to miss. What I'm going to be doing is figuring out a way to fix that. This one isn't as gimmicky as the other ones, but it still works. Also, I like this guy's name, Shadow Platypus. So I have the Dunsparce here, and he is about to use the move Coil. So he Terra Ghosts, so Collision Course doesn't affect it. Now, Coil is going to raise both his attack, defense, and accuracy. I'm going to be using Baton Pass to transfer the Dunsparce's stat changes onto Mousehold. All I need is one coil, and then Mousehold's Population Bomb, every single hit has a 100% chance to hit. And I also give Dunsparce the ability Rattled, so anytime it's hit by either a Ghost-type move, a Dark-type move, or a Bug-type move, its speed raises. So it U-turns, so I want this because Bug is going to activate Rattled. And then I'm just going to coil again because I feel like it. He's going to Psychic me. That drops my special defense, so I'm a bit scared, but I'm just going to go for it anyway, and it doesn't kill. I kind of forget how low Spiritom's special attack is. But anyway, I use Beat Up, and what that does is it takes each Pokemon here's base attack, basically just calculates it into the base power of each hit, and it hits as many times as there are Pokemon here. There's 6 Pokemon, so it's going to hit 6 times. For 1 hit, it's going to take the Dunsparce's attack. For 1 hit, it's going to take Dunsparce's attack. For 1 hit, it's going to take Mousehold's attack. And then for the last 3 hits, it's going to take each Slaking's attack. Which is why the Slakings are there. They have super high attack, so that's why I want them here. So they can just basically power up Mousehold's Beat Up. Now Clodsire comes in. Population Bomb is just boom, 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 boom. And I also have a King's Rock on Mousehold, so even if the chance to make the opponent flinch. Mousehold is now busted, and there is a way to easily make Mousehold work. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the strategies, or if you have suggestions for more weird gimmicky strategies that you'd like to tell me about, that I'll be happy to maybe use in a video. So, for now, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.